Hello, everyone. I wanted to first wish you all a very great Thanksgiving. I'm sorry I could not be here yesterday, but I heard from Dr. Benedict that everything went very well and that you had a good time talking about Common Core and very interesting and insightful conversations, and that you also were working very diligently with your projects. I was at NASM, which is the National Association of Schools of Music, meeting in my role as the Associate Director of School of Music, so I could not be here yesterday. But I want to talk a little bit with you about the final projects. I had a conversation with a couple of you, and I want you to understand a couple of things. And I thought that the easiest way to do that will be to send you a video explaining some of these elements. So number one, I want you to think that the primary goal of this project is to have a document that shows how you will go about that, so that you would submit this to someone like a principal or like a supervisor for the programs for the district, or your chair in the music program in your school. And in order to do that, you're going to introduce, the rationale, talk about why you're going to do that. You're going to show us information, sites, links to videos, those kinds of things, explaining what the program is and what your aim is for that, the rationale, the motivation, all those kinds of things. And then you're going to show, some of the process, the how people have done this. You're can introduce that via Prezi, right, which will be part of the presentation that we're going to actually record starting on Monday, and if we need more time throughout that week as well. And part of that presentation is also you engaging in the music making. It's you actually doing some of the songs one of the songs that you selected will be part of that process. Right, so this is the structure of the general gist of the project. What I think is essential that you understand about the project, this is very important. What I think is essential that you understand about the project is that the primary aim of this project is that this question: how do I get students involved in music? This is the first question. The second question that comes out of that: if I want involvement with music, the number one issue all research says is that I need students to feel successful in playing, which means that they have to be able to recognize something, a piece of music, and they need to be able to immediately engage in that process of music making. That is the key element in the process of bringing students into music. If we want our bands, if we want our choirs, if we want our orchestras, if we want general music to have students participating in them, we need to have students feel successful about that process, which means not only I can play, I can develop my skills, but I can also create. I can also engage with music making. I can also connect to something I already know. Yes, the process of reading, the process of becoming skilled in your instrument, the process of understanding kind of the sequential of ensemble-based education is important. But that needs to kind of follow a little bit parallel and dependent upon this kind of activities in which I as a student, can feel successful in actually making music with peers, with others around me, that is more immediate, that is more rewarding in the sense that I can think through it, I can create, I can adjust, I can improvise, I can do some composing, right? Not formal composing, but on the moment composing. And then through that, I can also link to this more long-term vision of learning to read, learning to become a more complex musician, so to speak. All right. So this is the central goal for you: is how to think about this process. Is why we're doing this presentation, why we're connecting to this ideas to musical futures, and what needs to be part of this process of not only you playing the songs that you selected, but you also helping us to understand how would you pedagogically organize this. So, you might have, as a teacher, you might have a melody, but you're going to get us to understand the process of getting through the whole song based on a harmonic structure. So think about the ways in which I can immediately help students to get playing, not 6 months from now, but 2 weeks from now. And not just playing something that is, a hot cross buns or something, particularly at the middle school, for instance, when, in beginning bands or in the choir or anything else, where students need to feel that they, one, have a connection to music, two, they feel that environment as a, significant environment. Patrick Freer has done a lot of research talking about middle school students come to choir and band because they want to be with their friends and they want to be in something that is exciting to them. So while you're going to continue to hone their skills and get to that commitment to long-term music education, you also need to feel and help them to value music making as part of their lives. And part of that needs to be, I need to feel successful actually doing some music. Right? Music making not only in the sense that I can play an instrument, but music making in the sense that I can play with others, I can develop my own ideas, I can connect to some sense of improvisation, I can figure out how what I learned in the classroom, I can also do with friends or even by myself at home later on, which is a major problem of big ensembles. I cannot do that music alone by myself or with my friends outside. That's the key aspect of music. And this is the key aspect of this project. It's not to replace anything, but it's to add to it. And to add a way in which students will be more welcomed into this process immediately, so that they have a rate of success, let's say in the first 4 weeks, 5, 6, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, and that by that time you hook them in, and you continue this other process, but you also, of course, you allow that other more collective, more kind of interactive, more peer-directed, more student-directed aspect of their education to also have a place in your program. There's lots of new innovative teachers thinking about that. This is the future of music education, particularly if we want to reach more than 12, 15% of the student population. If we think that music is significant in the lives of students, significant in the life of schools, then we need to find out ways in which we can have more of them into our classrooms. And this, of course, will lead to more music teachers, more diversity of music making within schools, which is what we want. So I hope that helps you to kind of think through a little bit this process and think about what we're going to do in class next Monday. Right? You need to come with some of these things prepared, but we're going to continue to help to hone them together. All right, so I hope again you have a lovely Thanksgiving, that you use today, tomorrow to finish some of these things up, and then be prepared for Monday. Okay, see you later. Bye bye.